After this morning's walk, I'm going to go train somebody to be a better, stronger version of themselves. Oh, good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode here at WILDMAN Lives. I'm your host, WILDMAN. So on today's episode, I'm continuing with the Training the Carnivore series, and I'm training my buddy Frank over at the gym. Now, I really like to thank my partners over at Rok Hardware and Cabinets for these cool shirts. Now let's pop in and let's get something good done today. Alrighty, so we got our boy Frank back again for another giant set workout. Now, Frank's workout is going to involve the deadlift, and we'd like to again thank our sponsors over at Rok Hardware and Cabinets for these cool looking shirts. So today's giant set is going to be the overhand deadlift until the grip becomes the limiting factor, and he'll have to either decide to wear straps or switch over into the mixed grip. And our buddy Nelson over there to the right, he's going to be a really good supervisor today, and he is going to watch intently, as you can see, as we work out today. And in between Frank's deadlifts, he's going to be doing bar facing burpees. Now this is a great way to work your core, chest, legs, and your explosiveness for athletic movements. It's also a great conditioning movement, and it warms up your whole body, just like these jump ropes, which he'll also be doing in between every single set to get his body nice and warm as the weights get heavier and heavier. Now, typically when I start a work week, I like to do back squats first, followed by bench press, then deadlifts, then seated press. And that's what I'm having Frank doing. We just filmed this out of sequence. But he's going to continue to do the Tough 6 program for all of those barbell movements. So for today's filming session, we filmed him doing the deadlift, but I'm letting you know he did bench press the day before this one. We're just filming out of sequence here. And I'm encouraging Frank to use the overhand grip on deadlifts for every rep, because you should be strong enough to at least pull, if you're a male, 315 pounds for one rep using the overhand grip. And once the grip becomes the limiting factor, meaning your muscles can pull more weight, but your grip is the reason why you're failing the lift, that would be the time to determine if you wanted to use mixed grip or straps in lieu of continuing to miss the lift. So Frank decided that he was going to do the mixed grip once it got too difficult and the grip became the limiting factor. But he's using very good barbell movement patterns right now, and with all these burpees and jump ropes, his body was ready to receive the heavier weights. Now here's his top set for the day. Now he's going to do 6 here, but you'll see the grip becomes the limiting factor, and he has to stop and do one single, and then he knows that it's going to slide out of his hand the next rep, so he switches over to a mixed grip, which I don't typically like to do. I'd rather train in the same grip or with straps the entire time, but we allowed it for today, and I had a discussion with him afterwards of choosing which grip to do for the remainder of the time. And all of these burpees and jump ropes were making it possible for him to stay warm. Now, when it comes to deadlift strength, upper back is very important. So I programmed Frank a variation giant set involving weighted pull-ups. Let's pop in and let's see what we did. Now for the variation giant set, we're doing the weighted pull-up. Now Frank was having his feet outward, and you could see, look at that swing that he's got going on, and that's not what we're trying to do at all. So I had him correct this by bringing his feet back, which put his body perfectly in line to do the weighted pull-up correctly. So we did 3 rounds of weighted pull-ups, and he continued to do the bar facing burpees and the jump ropes as well, just because it makes it easier, right? We're trying to make sure that the body is getting conditioned and that we're practicing good movements, and burpees and jump ropes are great to keep good movement patterns in mind when you're doing the deadlift. And for the weighted pull-ups, I really like to isolate that back the best I can, but sometimes when it gets heavy, I treat this more as a semi-compound movement. But because Frank's a beginner, I really wanted him to build his back the best way, which was to isolate it a little bit more, so I never had his feet touch the ground. But it works out well. A strong core and upper back is very vital when it comes to deadlifting. So let's check out what I programmed for Frank on the assistance portion. Now for the assistance, I was having Frank do 3 rounds of supinated barbell rows. Now this is great for beginners because it's really going to isolate that upper back even more, and it's going to keep you in the hinge position and work your biceps as well. And in between that, I was having him do 6-way kettlebells. They're called 3-way kettlebells. And the reason why is because you're doing 3 movements, but you have to do 3 on each side, and 3 plus 3 equals 6. So I call them 6-way kettlebells. But these are absolutely great, and they absolutely blow up your obliques. And you work on shoulder stability as well. And he was doing 3 of these back and forth along with jump ropes, and that was the giant assistance. Most important part of any of my training programs is to make sure that you're getting your accessories in. I would rather that you did the strength portion and the accessory portion and cut out the middle giant sets if you're running out of time. However, doing all 4 would be vital to getting stronger and more fit and more healthy. So let me show you some of my favorite accessories to do on deadlift day. For the accessory giant set, we were doing 3 rounds of supination curls. This is something I learned in physical therapy to keep your biceps strong and well balanced when you're lifting really, really heavy weights. And we were doing hitchhikers with the band, whereas you keep your arms straight, your thumbs pointed outwards, and you try to touch your shoulder blades together. This is great for overall shoulder health and back stability. And hamstring curls to finish off our hamstrings since they were so tired from all the deadlifts we did. And we'd like to remind you that our video is sponsored by Rok Hardware and Cabinets. So there you have it. A great workout day, and Frank did not die. Good for him. Now, since Frank is on the carnivore diet and we are doing as a test subject to see if he's going to be able to last into the upper, more strenuous parts of my training programs, here is a list of food that he ate for today, which includes breakfast, lunch, dinner, and any snacks that he did. So if you're on the carnivore diet and you're thinking about starting weightlifting, Frank did this meal today, and he seems to be progressing just fine as of now. Until next time, thank you for watching.